Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I got asked this question because I've stated in the past I'm not a big fan of creatine. I am a creatine non-responder, and it's something I've kind of struggled with always from an evidence-based perspective because that does make me biased. And a lot of people need to understand that we have our personal biases that we tend to use no matter what we are dealing with when we look at evidence of things because of our own life experiences, and that's normal human nature. So when you take the creatine, for example, I personally am a non-responder. I've never seen any benefit from creatine. I had tried 3 or 4 different types, different loading parameters, and when I looked at research, it said I should gain X amount of strength in a period of time, and I didn't see any change whatsoever. I can do a loading dose. I don't gain a single pound. Nothing has ever happened. It's just salt to me. That's all it is. And it's funny because people say, well, the fact that there are non-responders like you who don't support creatine and there are studies showing it, doesn't that mean that you should try other things like Biogro or whatever, even if there's no reason to think it would work? And my answer would be no, of course not. Because a third of the population, which is the approximate guess, do not seem to respond to creatine in studies. And that's been noted in research over the years that people who respond seem to respond decently and get a bit stronger. They gain strength, stamina, a little bit of power. It's measurable, but a third of the population sees zero effect. Well, this goes back to another point about supplements being there to correct things in your diet or to fix things in your diet that might not be ideal. That's the only purpose they serve. For me, at the time, first time I tried it, I lived on my family ranch and I ate tons of grass-fed beef because I had access to tons of it. I've always been a heavy meat eater other than the period of time where I was a vegetarian or a vegan, and outside of that, I've always eaten a really heavy meat diet. One of the things they found is that the non-responders tend to have higher levels of creatine in their body already. This is presumably due to their diet. And people say, well, there's not that much in meat. Well, there's not that much that you can absorb in any form of creatine that you buy. What you don't understand is that 5 gram dose that you're consuming in powder form, you may not absorb any more of it than you would absorb through, say, a pound of steak that you go through the slow digestion process. And I know that's just an approximation. But the thing is, we've noted that historically, that people who consume this product and see no benefit tend to already have high levels of it. And again, very much presumably due to their diet or the way that they personally absorb it at a better rate from meat and the meats and other things they eat that contain it already. So really, creatine is just fixing a dietary imbalance. And so I don't support it. I would tell most people eat more meat. Now, if you can't eat enough meat, then okay, maybe consider a creatine product if it seems to work for you. But no, I don't generally support it. But the point is, just because you have that going on doesn't mean that you should go try products that there's no scientific reason to think that they actually work. That's just silly. And especially really expensive products that are $40, $50, $80. That's just absurd when there isn't at least 9 or 10 independent studies backing them. At least with creatine, we have over 60 independent studies with all sorts of double-blind protocols and everything going on. There's strong studies that have been done that are independent studies with minimal bias, and we have dozens and dozens of them. So when you have something like that, that's where creatine can be viable as long as you're not a non-responder like me. But when it comes to, again, a product like Biogro, we don't have any real data to even suggest that it's going to have benefits. So why would you go and try it? Because if there were benefits, here's the way this stuff works. With creatine, the benefit to me seems really small. Even the people who take it, who seem to benefit, I don't see big improvements in it, other than claims on the internet, but I've never heard of anyone taking it and seeing a massive difference. And I personally, people I've worked with, I've known quite a few other non-responders, we don't see anything. But the thing is, if there's even a small response, a strong controlled study is going to find it. If there's a 0.5% advantage in taking a $200 product, they're going to find it in the data. So if you're not seeing that with every single study done on a product, and let's say, half of them show a benefit and half don't, that's where you should say, no, this is probably a waste of my time because it's not consistently showing the benefit. So that means there's something wrong going on with the studies. There could be some potential bias. There's something happening that you need to figure out what it is before you start throwing away your hard-earned money on a product that only works in half of the studies. So no, the fact that there are creatine non-responders or people like me who don't really advocate the use of creatine because I'm biased because it doesn't do anything for me, doesn't mean that automatically you should try products and spend money on things that haven't been shown to work in a lab. It's just kind of reverse logic. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.